The girl's hands never stopped moving, even when the pot was empty. Wade Garrett rode into Pike's trading post just past dusk, needing jerky and coffee. Inside, dim lamplight, tobacco smoke, the smell of venison stew. Behind the counter, a young woman stirred a pot. Mechanical, endless, her eyes fixed on nothing. Vernon Pike called her girl, not by name, watched her the way a man watches livestock. Wade took a table. She brought him stew without meeting his eyes, bare feet in November, bruises circling her wrists like dirty bracelets. When Pike's voice rose about a spilled drink, she flinched, whole body, then kept moving. Ladle to bowl to table, back to the pot, stirring, always stirring. Wade ate, paid, left. Outside, cold wind off the mesa. He stopped on the porch, looked back through the window. She was still stirring. The pot was empty. He mounted his horse. Didn't look back again. Rode 3 miles before he realized his hands were shaking. 3 days later, he found her in the creek bed with a knife in her hand and nowhere left to run. Wade made camp 5 miles south of Pike's Post, telling himself he was heading to Santa Fe. Telling himself he'd forget her face by morning. Dawn came cold. He heard something, boots on clay, then voices, male, urgent. He grabbed his rifle, moved toward the dry creek bed, found her backed against the bank, soaked dress, bleeding feet, clutching a kitchen knife. Rusty, small, but held like she knew how to use it. 2 men on horses above the creek, Pike's ranch hands from the look of them. She wasn't begging, wasn't crying, just standing there, ready. "She with you?" one man called down. Wade's mouth moved before his brain caught up. "Yeah, she is." The men looked at each other. Looked at Wade. Dusty drifter, nobody special but armed. Not worth the trouble. Not yet. "Pike'll hear about this." "I reckon he will." They rode off, dust trailing. Wade turned to her. She was staring at him like he'd just set her house on fire. "Why'd you do that?" "Seemed like you needed help." "I didn't ask for it." "No, you didn't." Silence. Creek water trickling. She lowered the knife. Barely. "They'll come back with more men. You just made yourself a target." Wade shrugged. "Wouldn't be the first time." She studied him, trying to figure his angle. Everyone had one. "What do you want?" "Nothing." "Men don't help for nothing." "Maybe I ain't most men." She laughed, short, bitter, sharp as the knife. "We'll see." She tried to leave. Walked right past him, heading south on bare feet like she could outrun horses. Wade blocked her path. Didn't touch her, just stood there. "Where you going?" "That ain't your problem." "It is now. I lied for you." She stopped, turned. Her eyes were brown, he noticed. Dark brown, like creek mud after rain, and furious. "I didn't ask you to lie. Didn't need you to. Those men catch you in an hour, maybe less. Then what?" "That's my business." And when they ask me where you went, when Pike comes asking, that becomes my business." She was weighing it. Trust him. Dangerous. Run alone. Death. He could see her calculating, same way he'd seen horses calculate before bolting. Finally, "One night, then I'm gone." Fair enough. His camp wasn't much. Bedroll, saddle, small fire that wouldn't draw attention. He gave her his spare blanket, thinner, but she didn't know that. Poured coffee into a tin cup, handed it over with hardtack. She ate standing, facing away from him. Like sitting down meant something. Like relaxing meant trust, and trust meant trap. Wade cleaned his rifle, loaded it. The metallic click loud in the quiet. He didn't speak. The silence sat between them, bigger than words. After a while, "Got a name?" She didn't answer at first. Chewed the hardtack slow, like she was deciding if names were safe to give. "Alma." He nodded. Didn't push. Loaded another round. "Why'd you help me?" "Told you." Seemed like the thing to do. But men don't do things without wanting something. Wade looked at her. Really looked. She was maybe 19, maybe younger. Old in the eyes, young everywhere else. "Maybe you're right. Or maybe I'm just tired of watching bad things happen and pretending I don't see them." She turned then, studied his face in the firelight. "You see a lot of bad things?" "More than I should have." "And you stopped how many?" Wade didn't answer. Couldn't. She nodded, like he'd confirmed something. "That's what I thought." She sat then, finally, but far from the fire. Wrapped the blanket tight. Wouldn't look at him. Church bell rang somewhere, faint and far. Redemption Flats, maybe. She stiffened at the sound, jaw tight. "You religious?" Wade asked. "Used to be. Then I learned God only listens to men with money." Wade had no answer for that. Probably because it was true. He woke before dawn to find her gone. Panic hit first, sharp, stupid. He'd told himself he didn't care, but his body knew different. Grabbed his rifle, scanned the scrubland. Found her 50 yards out, standing at the edge of a rise. Just standing there, watching the horizon. east where the sun was starting to think about rising. He approached quiet, didn't want to spook her. You running? No. Then what? Watching. For what? She didn't answer right away. The sky was going from black to gray to something that might be blue if you waited long enough. I ain't seen a sunrise in 2 years. Not really. Pike kept me locked up at night, said it was for my own protection. The word protection came out like poison. So I'm watching now. While I can. Wade stood beside her, not too close, just present. They watched together, silent, as the sun cracked the horizon open like an egg, gold spilling everywhere. It's real pretty, he said. Yeah. You coming back to camp? She looked at him, testing. You thought I ran? Crossed my mind. But you didn't chase me. Didn't figure I had the right. Something shifted in her face. Not trust, not yet, but maybe the possibility of it. Somewhere down the road. I'm coming back, for now. They walked together, slow, as the desert warmed around them. At camp, Wade started packing his gear. She watched. We leaving? The word hung there. We. Wade hadn't planned on we. Hadn't planned on any of this. Might have to. Those men'll tell Pike. He'll come looking. Can't stay here. Where we going? He looked at her. She looked back. Waiting. Town called Redemption Flats. Got a friend there? Mike could help? Mike could? It's not much, but it's more than nothing. She nodded. Okay. She trusted him now. Just a little. Just enough. That scared him more than Pike's men ever could. Sam Booker took one look at the girl and said, Son, you just bought yourself a war. Then Redemption Flats was 15 miles of dust and regret. One street, wood frame buildings that had seen better decades, a church with paint peeling like old skin. Wade rode in with Alma behind him on the horse. She'd insisted on walking at first, but her feet were torn to hell. Sam's dry goods sat at the end of Main Street. The old man was on the porch, whittling when they arrived. Looked up once. Saw Wade, saw the girl. Set his knife down slow, simple Wade. The old man's eyes moved to Alma. Took in the bare feet, the too thin dress, the way she held herself. Tight, like if she relaxed, she'd shatter. That Pike's girl? She ain't nobody's girl. Law says different. Law's wrong. When Sam studied them both, Wade could see him calculating the cost of this, what it would mean. Sam had been a ranger for 30 years. He knew exactly what this was. Finally, back room's got a cot. Stove. Lock on the inside. Alma looked at Wade, suspicious. Why's he helping? Sam answered before Wade could. 'Cause I'm too old to pretend I don't see what I see. He went inside, came back with soap, a dress that had belonged to his late wife, and shoes, worn but whole. Handed them to Alma like he was handing her a loaded gun, careful, respectful. She took them slowly, stared at the shoes like they might disappear. There's water heating, take your time. She looked at the back room door, then at them, then back at the door. It locks from the inside? Yes, ma'am. She went in. The lock clicked loud. Wade and Sam stood on the porch. Sam pulled out a tobacco pouch, rolled a cigarette with his three-fingered hand. You know whose property she is. Told you, she ain't. Wade, don't be stupid. Pike's got the sheriff, the judge, half the church on his side paying him tithes. You got me, a lame horse, and a bad idea. That enough? Sam lit the cigarette, exhaled slow. Hell no. But he didn't tell Wade to leave. 2 hours passed before Alma emerged. She'd scrubbed her skin near raw, braided her wet hair, put on the dress, pale blue, faded, but clean. She looked different, younger, like maybe she was 19 after all, not 40 inside. Sam was making stew, venison, potatoes, actual vegetables, set 3 bowls on the table. Alma stood in the doorway, uncertain. You can sit, Sam said. She sat, on a chair, not the floor. Her hands in her lap, waiting for permission to exist. Sam ladled stew, passed her a bowl, then bread. She took it, stared at it. Go on, Wade said quietly. She ate slow at first, then faster. Like maybe if she ate quick enough, no one would take it back. Sam told a story, some nonsense about a horse that kicked him into a water trough back in '74. Wade had heard it before, but Alma hadn't. Her mouth twitched, almost a smile. Not quite, but close enough that it hurt to see. They ate in something that wasn't quite silence, wasn't quite comfort, somewhere in between. After, Alma stood to clear the dishes. Sam stopped her. You're a guest. She froze. I ain't ever been a guest. The words sat there, heavy as stones. Sam's voice went soft. Well, you are now. Night settled. Alma in the back room, door locked. Wade and Sam on the porch with whiskey and quiet. What's your plan? Don't got one. Can't keep her here forever. Pike'll come. I know. Wade didn't answer. The truth was, he hadn't thought past keeping her alive today. Tomorrow was a problem for tomorrow. Inside, Alma sat on the cot. Clean, fed, safe, or as safe as anywhere. She held something Sam had given her with the supplies. A wooden spoon, plain, smooth. The first thing that was hers in 2 years. She turned it over in her hands, traced the handle with one finger. Her throat went tight. She cried then, silent, no sound. Shoulders shaking, touching the spoon like it might break. After, she tested the door lock. Once, twice, 3 times. Even here, safety was a concept, not a feeling. The church bell rang in the distance. She flinched, sat very still, listened to the men talking outside, low voices, the sound of Wade's boots on wood. He was still there. For now, she lay down, fully dressed, shoes on, ready to run if she needed to, the spoon she kept in her hand. Outside, Wade watched the road. No riders yet, but they'd come. Pike wouldn't let this go. Sam crushed his cigarette under his boot. You care about her. It wasn't a question. Wade didn't answer. Didn't need to. That's going to make this harder. I know. You willing to die for her? Wade thought about the Chinese girl, the tent, 20 years of riding away. Rather die for her than live with not trying. Sam nodded. Then I reckon we better figure out how to keep you both alive. And she asked him once, quiet, if he'd ever saved anyone before. He lied and said no. 3 days passed. Alma helped Sam in the store. Her choice, not obligation. She was careful with the merchandise. Efficient, but different now. She asked questions, looked at customers. She was waking up. Wade watched her reorganize the dry goods shelf one morning, actually humming under her breath. Didn't even know she was doing it. The sound stopped him cold. Proof she'd forgotten how to be a person was just now remembering. That afternoon, he left for an hour, came back with something wrapped in cloth. Found her sweeping behind the counter, set the bundle down without speaking. She stopped, stared at it. What's that? Open it. She did, slow, inside a wooden spoon. Carved, smooth, the handle shaped careful. At the top a small bird, wings spread mid-flight. She went very still. Where'd you get this? Made it. But why? He didn't have an answer that wouldn't sound stupid, so he just said, yours if you want it. She touched the bird with one finger, traced the wings. Her hand was shaking. I can't accept gifts. Why not? Because gifts ain't free. Somebody always wants something back. Not this one. She looked at him, searching for the lie, the angle, the trap. Found nothing. That scared her more than finding something. I don't understand you. That makes 2 of us. She picked up the spoon, held it to the light. The bird caught the sun, glowed gold for a second. It's real pretty. Yeah. Thank you. The words came out rough, like she'd forgotten how to say them. Wade nodded, left before it could get awkward. Outside, Sam was grinning. What? Nothing. Just haven't seen you carve something since Mary died. Wade's jaw tightened. Mary had been Sam's wife. Wade had carved her a wedding present 20 years back. A jewelry box with roses. Don't. I'm just saying, you're getting attached. It's a spoon. Son, it's never just a spoon. Later that day, Sam found Alma in the back room. She was sitting on the floor, using the spoon handle to write letters in the dust, over and over. A-L-M-A, her name. Practicing like she'd forgotten how it looked. Or maybe proving it still belonged to her. Sam didn't say anything, just left her to it. Evening, store closed. The 3 of them sitting together, comfortable now, almost. Alma asked Wade where he was from. Colorado, long time back. You got family? Not anymore. She didn't push. But later, when Sam dozed in his chair, she asked again. You ever saved anyone before? Wade went still. Thought about the girl, the tent, the riding away. No. Alma watched him, really watched. You're lying. Well, what makes you say that? I can tell. People who lie gotta look. You got it. He wanted to deny it. Couldn't. She read people the way trackers read signs. Survival skill. Learned hard. He changed subject. What about you? You got people? Stepfather sold me. Mother didn't stop him. Her voice flat, factual. So, no. The words hung there. 2 orphans, different kinds. I'm sorry. For what? You didn't do it. Wade, quieter. Maybe that's the problem. She frowned. Didn't understand. Not yet. Days blurred into routine. Alma laughed at Sam's bad jokes. Wade taught her to load a rifle. She learned fast. Too fast. She'd been thinking about weapons for a while. One afternoon, a stranger rode through, stopped at Sam's, asked casual-like about Pike's girl. Sam said he hadn't seen her. The man left. But the message was clear. That night, Wade packed his saddlebags. Alma saw. We leaving? There it was again. Wade still wasn't used to it, still didn't know what to do with it. Might have to. Where are we going? He looked at her. She looked back, waiting, trusting. Don't know yet? Okay, just like that. Okay. She'd follow him into uncertainty because she'd already lived through certainty, and certainty had been hell. That trust sat on his chest like a stone. Sam pulled him aside later. Pike's been to the county seat, filing papers, making it legal official. He's coming back with the law. Wade nodded, checked his rifle, loaded it, stared at it for a long time. Didn't unload it this time. Outside, Alma stood at the window, watched the road. She'd been free for less than a week. It felt like a lifetime. Felt like 5 minutes. She touched the carved spoon in her pocket. The bird's wings, frozen mid-flight. She wondered if she'd ever really fly, or if she'd just be running forever, one step ahead of the cage. Inside, Wade sat with his loaded rifle. Sam said, "You afraid?" "Yeah." "Good. Means you're smart." "Don't feel smart. Feels like I'm just making it worse for her." "Maybe. Or maybe you're the first person who made her feel like she was worth saving." Wade didn't answer. Outside, Alma pressed her hand against the window glass. Cold coming, storm too. They could both feel it. The ledger was open on Sam's desk. Her name, her price, $40 in Pike's handwriting. Morning. Sam had gone to talk to the sheriff. Futile, but he had to try. Wade was checking inventory. Alma wandered into the back office, just looking around. Curious, not snooping. Saw the ledger on the desk. Open. She stepped closer. Her name, right there, in ink, Alma Tate, age 17 at time of acquisition. Below it, terms. Her stepfather's signature, shaky from whiskey. Pike's signature, neat and legal. Witness signatures from 2 respectable citizens. And the price, $40, $40. 1 winter coat, 10 Celebes flour. She stared, couldn't breathe. Her lungs forgot how. $40, that's what she was worth. Written proof, legal, documented, less than a horse, less than a good rifle, $40. The room tilted. Wade walked in, saw her face, saw the ledger. "Alma, you knew. You knew." Louder now. "You and Sam both. You knew what I was worth. You knew and you didn't tell me." Sam got that ledger to help, to build a case. "A case? A case?" She laughed, wild, broken. "I don't need a case. I need to not be property. But I am, ain't I? Says so right here. Legal and everything. That paper don't mean nothing. It means everything. It means I'm livestock. It means my own father," she choked on the word, "means he sold me for less than winter provisions." Wade reached for her. She jerked back. "Don't touch me." "We were trying to protect you." "From what? The truth? I've been living it." Her voice cracked. "You think I didn't know I was property? You think I needed it written down to understand what I am?" "That ain't what you are." "Then what am I?" She was shaking now, fury and shame colliding. "Tell me, what am I to you?" Wade couldn't answer. Whatever he said would be wrong. "That's what I thought." And she turned away. "You felt sorry for me. That's why you helped. Poor little broken girl. Poor thing." "No. Liar." The word cut clean. "You're all liars, keeping secrets, making decisions for me, like I'm too stupid or too damaged to handle my own life. We were trying to keep you safe, by treating me like a child, by deciding what I should know." She spun back around. "Pike locked me in a room. You kept me in the dark. How's that different?" The words landed like a punch. Wade actually stepped back. "That ain't fair." "Fair?" She laughed again. "Fair? You want to talk about fair?" She grabbed the carved spoon from her pocket, the one with the bird, threw it at him, hard. It hit the wall behind him, clattered to the floor. "Keep your gifts. I don't need your pity." It wasn't pity. Then what was it? Love? She said the word like a curse. "You think carving me a toy makes this better, makes us even?" Wade picked up the spoon. The bird's wing was chipped where it hit, broken. "Alma, please, don't." She was crying now. Angry tears, the kind that burn. "Don't please me. Don't anything me. I'm leaving." Where? Anywhere that ain't here." She walked out. Wade stood there holding the broken spoon. Sam came in from the back. "Let her go. She's upset. She's got a right to be. You kept the truth from her. We both did." Sam's voice was tired. "You were trying to protect her. But you treated her like property too. Just nicer about it." Wade wanted to argue. Couldn't, because it was true. "I was trying to help." "I know. But helping ain't the same as respecting." Alma ran, not away, just ran. Down the street, past the church, to the edge of town where the buildings stopped and the desert started. Stopped there, breathless, furious, crying. The church bell rang, loud, close, right in her goddamn ear. She screamed at it, wordless, raw. Alma. She turned. Miss Harden stood there. The schoolteacher, maybe 35, worn at the edges but kind-eyed. You're alive. Barely. Miss Harden saw the rage, the tears, the way Alma was shaking. Come with me. Miss Harden's house was small. 2 rooms, books everywhere, a kettle on the stove. She made tea. Alma didn't want tea, but she drank it anyway because her hands needed something to hold. I tried to teach you to read once, Miss Harden said. 3 years back. You came to the school for 2 weeks. Alma remembered. Barely. Pike stopped me. Said education made women difficult. He was right. Alma looked up. Good, Miss Harden added. She reached into a drawer, pulled out an envelope. I've been saving this, for when you got out. Inside, a train ticket, Santa Fe, dated next week, and $20. Alma stared. I've been putting aside money, every month. Figured you'd need it eventually. Why? Because I saw what he was, what he did, and I didn't stop it. But I could at least help you run when you were ready. Alma held the ticket. Another person making plans for her, another person deciding her fate, but this time it was different. It's yours if you want it, Miss Harden said. Or not. Your choice. Your choice. Those words. Nobody said those words. Alma folded the ticket carefully, put it in her pocket where the spoon used to be. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just go. Live. Alma walked back to Sam's store as the sun set. Wade was on the porch, stood when he saw her. She didn't look at him, just walked past, went inside. Alma. She stopped, didn't turn around. I'm leaving, week from now. Don't follow me. Where? Don't matter. Just don't. She went to the back room, closed the door, locked it. Wade stood there, alone. Sam came out. She come back. Yeah. She talked to you? Said she's leaving. Sam nodded. You gonna let her? Wade looked at the door, thought about the Chinese girl, thought about riding away, thought about every choice he'd ever made that chose safety over courage. I don't know. Inside, Alma sat on the cot, pulled out the train ticket. 1 week, 7 days. She could do 7 days. Then she'd be free, really free. She almost believed it. Pike came at dawn with the sheriff and a rifle, and Alma stood between them in a dress she'd already outgrown. Wade woke to horses, 4 of them, looked out. Pike, Sheriff Morrison, 2 ranch hands, all armed. Sam was already on the porch, blocking the door. Pike looked fresh-shaved, Sunday best, smiled like a man who had already won. Morning, Sam, I'm here for my property. She ain't here. A law says different. Pike held up papers, thick stack, official seals. Ownership contract, signed by her legal guardian. Witnessed, county stamped, all proper. Sheriff Morrison looked uncomfortable but determined. This is legal, Sam. Stand aside. Wade stepped out. She ain't going back. Pike looked at him for the first time. Really looked. Sized him up. And who are you? Nobody. Pike's smile widened. That's right, nobody. With no land, no name, no standing. He turned to the sheriff. Arrest him, obstruction of justice, theft of property. The sheriff hesitated. Vernon, maybe we can… Arrest him. This was the moment. Wade could fight, die shooting, or surrender, watch her go back. No good options, just different ways to fail. The door opened. Alma stepped out. Everyone stopped. She changed back into the old calico dress, the servant uniform, hair braided tight, bare feet. She'd chosen to look like property again. I'll go. Wade. No. She looked at him. First time in days. Her eyes were empty. This ain't your fight. You done enough. Alma. I said I'll go. And to Pike, oh, but you leave them alone. Both of them. They didn't know nothing. Pike satisfied. Of course. I'm a reasonable man. She walked to the wagon, climbed in without help, sat down, hands folded in her lap, didn't look back. Pike tipped his hat to Sam. Always a pleasure. The sheriff wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. The horses turned. Dust rose. Wade stood there. Frozen. Again. 20 years later, and he was still the same goddamn coward. Sam grabbed Wade's arm. Don't. Wade watched the wagon disappear. Alma's back, straight and small. This ain't the first time, is it? Wade didn't answer. You've seen this before. Wade nodded, told him. Colorado. 1867, mining camp, Chinese girl, maybe 14, 3 men dragging her into a tent. Wade was 27, armed, capable, rode away, heard 2 weeks later she died. How old were you? 27. So you were a coward at 27. Sam's voice was quiet. Not cruel, just honest. What are you now? Wade couldn't answer. He collapsed on the porch, not physically, morally. Sat down heavy, head in hands. Hours passed. Church bell rang. He didn't hear it. He went inside. Found something on the table. The wooden spoon. The one Alma threw. The chipped wing. She'd left it there. Not in anger, as a message. I know you tried. He held it. First time he'd cried in 20 years. Sam found him like that. Sat down quiet. She did it to protect you. I don't deserve it. No, you don't, but she chose it anyway. Wade stared at the spoon. The bird that couldn't fly, just like her. Afternoon. Miss Harden burst in. She's been planning to leave for 2 weeks. The train ticket. She was going to take it. Wade looked up, confused. Then why'd she go back? Because Pike told the sheriff you'd hang for kidnapping if she didn't. The words hit like a bullet. What? He gave her a choice. Your life or her freedom? She picked yours. Wade stood. I didn't know. She didn't want you to. Didn't want to be another burden. Miss Harden sat down, tired. This is the 3rd time she's tried to escape. Silence. First time, 2 years ago, Pike's men caught her 5 miles out, broke her arm, told the town she fell off a horse. Wade felt sick. Second time, last spring, made it 20 miles before they dragged her back, beat her till she couldn't walk for a week. Said she'd been disciplined for laziness. Jesus Christ. She survived that and still tried again. Miss Harden looked at him. You thought you were her first hope. You weren't. You were her 3rd. And she went back anyway, to save you. Sam, quiet. So she's been protecting herself this whole time. And everyone around her. Miss Harden stood. She's the bravest person in this town. And we all just let her go back to hell. Wade stood, picked up his rifle. Sam, what you gonna do? What I should have done 20 years ago. Well, that's suicide. Wade loaded the rifle, his hands steady for the first time in days. Maybe. But it's the first honest thing I'll have done in a long time. He's got men, the law. You'll be dead or hanged. Don't matter. She gave up her freedom for my life. I ain't gonna waste that on being a coward. Sam studied him. You're really doing this? Yeah. Then I reckon we better make sure it counts. He rode into the desert alone and tried to pray for the first time in 20 years. But God wasn't answering cowards anymore. Wade needed to think. Couldn't do it with Sam watching, waiting. Couldn't do it with the town's eyes on him. So he rode out, south, into the scrubland where nothing lived but rattlesnakes and regret, made camp in a dry arroyo, no fire, didn't want to be found. Didn't want to be saved from what he was about to do. Cold night coming. Sky going purple, then black. Stars appearing one by one like witnesses. He sat with his rifle across his knees, loaded it, unloaded it, loaded it again, not hesitation this time, ritual. The gun was clean, ready, so was he. The desert looked like the inside of his skull, empty, wind-scraped, nothing growing. 20 years of walking away had left him just as barren. He thought about riding south, right now. Mexico was 3 days, if he pushed the horse. Could disappear, change his name. Start over somewhere nobody knew what he'd done, or hadn't done. The thought sat there, tempting as water. Then Alma's face, the Chinese girl's face, they blurred together, became one ghost with 2 names. Who are you? They asked. He didn't have an answer, not one worth saying out loud. Wind picked up, cold and persistent like guilt. He pulled his coat tighter. The stars didn't care. They'd seen men like him before, men who talked big about doing right, then rode away when the cost came due. The stars didn't judge, they just watched. That was worse, somehow. Judgment he could argue with. Silence just reflected back what you already knew. He was a coward, had been for 20 years. The only question was what he'd be tomorrow. He thought about Mary, Sam's wife. Wade had known her, carved her that jewelry box. She'd thanked him, said something he'd forgotten until now. Good men don't carve things for people. They carve things because they can't help it. Because something inside needs to get out. He'd carved Alma that spoon the same way. Not to buy her gratitude, not to fix her. Just because something in him needed to believe, he could still make something that wasn't broken. The bird's wing was chipped now, like everything he touched. Dark settled complete. Temperature dropped. His breath came out white, then disappeared. He tried to pray. Hadn't prayed since he was a kid, since before he learned prayer was just talking to yourself in a desperate voice. But he tried anyway. God. Nothing. Wind. Silence. If you're listening, more nothing. I know I got no right. Ain't been in a church in 20 years. Ain't lived like a man who believes in anything but the next drink in the next town. The stars didn't flicker. The wind didn't stop. But she does. She deserves. She didn't do nothing wrong. She was a kid when they sold her. 17. Just a kid. His throat tightened. So if you're going to punish someone, make it me. I'm the one who's been riding away my whole life. I'm the one who watched that girl in Colorado get dragged off and did nothing. I'm the one who he stopped, couldn't finish. Just let Alma go free. Please, I'll pay whatever it costs. Just let her go. Silence. He waited. For a sign, for a feeling, for anything. Got nothing. He laughed, bitter, short. Figured. God wasn't in the business of helping men who only prayed when they needed something. Wade knew that. Had always known it. He was alone out here. Had always been alone. The only one who could save Alma was him. He lay back on the hard ground, stared up at the sky, thought about Sam's question, what are you now? Not a hero. Heroes didn't need 20 years and a broken girl to find their spine. Not a saint. Saints didn't have bodies buried in their past, girls they'd left to die, bottles they'd crawled into, towns they'd run from when things got complicated. Just a man who'd run out of places to hide. Just a man who was tired of being ashamed. He thought about what Alma said. You ever saved anyone before? He'd lied, said no. Truth was worse than lying. Truth was, he'd had chances, plural, and every time, he'd chosen safety. The Chinese girl was just the first, the one that stuck. But there'd been others, small moments. A Mexican kid getting beat by a sheriff, a woman being thrown out of a saloon by her husband, an old man begging for water. Every time, Wade had thought, not my business. Every time, he'd walked away a little lighter. By the time he met Alma, he was hollow, just going through motions. Drifting from job to job, town to town, carrying nothing but guilt in a saddle. She'd looked at him like he was someone, like he mattered. That scared him worse than Pike ever could. He sat up, looked at his hands. Rope-scarred, calloused, capable of kindness or cruelty depending on which way he pointed them. He thought, I could still ride away, right now. She'd understand. Hell, she already said goodbye. But then he thought about her face when she left. How she'd chosen to go back to protect him. She'd traded her freedom for his life. And he'd been about to waste it on being the same coward he'd always been. The wind died. The silence got thicker. In that silence, something shifted. Not God speaking. Not angels or signs or any of that. Just Wade, finally hearing himself. He wasn't saving Alma to redeem his past. Couldn't undo the Chinese girl. Couldn't undo 20 years of cowardice. He was saving Alma because she deserved to be saved. Because she'd already saved herself twice, survived hell, and still had the courage to try again. Because mercy wasn't something you earned. It was something you did. That was the difference. The redemption, if it came, was just a side effect, not the goal. He thought about Sam's other question, you willing to die for her? The answer used to scare him. Now it felt simple. Yeah, he said out loud, to the stars, to himself. Yeah, I am. Not because dying made him a hero, because living as a coward was worse than any death. He pulled the rifle onto his lap, checked the load one more time, 6 rounds, enough to make a point, not enough to win. He thought about Pike. Rich, respected, legally right. The kind of man who believed property was property and law was law, and God agreed with him. Pike would have the sheriff, would have men, would have papers saying he owned a human being. Wade had a rifle and a bad plan. But he also had something Pike didn't. He'd already lost everything that mattered, which meant he had nothing left to lose. That made him dangerous. He tried to pray one more time, different this time. I ain't asking for help. Just, if she gets out of this, if she gets to be free, let her know she was worth it. Let her know someone finally showed up. The wind picked up again, cold and steady. He took that as an answer. Or didn't. Didn't matter. He was going back regardless. Dawn came slow, gray, then gold. The desert woke up, lizards, birds, heat starting to rise. Wade stood, stretched, his back hurt, his knees hurt. He was 47 and felt 70. Didn't matter. He mounted his horse, turned north, toward Redemption Flats, toward Pike, toward whatever came next. He thought about Alma, wondered if she was awake yet, wondered if Pike had hurt her, wondered if she was thinking about the train ticket she'd never get to use. He wondered if she knew he was coming. Probably not. She'd told him not to, expected him to listen, but he was done listening to fear. The sun rose full, bright and hard and indifferent. Wade rode steady, not fast, just determined, his rifle across his saddle, his hands steady. For the first time in 20 years, he wasn't running from something, he was riding toward it. This might be the last sunrise I see, he thought. That's okay. He'd wasted enough sunrises looking the other way. This one he'd meet head on, even if it killed him. Especially if it killed him. Because Alma had chosen his life over her freedom. The least he could do was choose hers over his. By the time he reached town, his decision was granted. Sam was waiting on the porch. You come back. Yeah. You sure about this? Wade dismounted, tied his horse, checked his rifle one last time. No, but I'm doing it anyway. Sam nodded. Then I reckon we better load up. Wade Garrett walked into Pike's trading post with a rifle and a choice, and only one of them was loaded. Wade and Sam spent the night planning, not a rescue, something else. You can't just walk in there shooting, Sam said. Sheriff will hang you before sunset. I know. Pike's got men, got the law, got papers saying she's his. I know that too, Sam leaned back. So what's your plan? Wade pulled out the train ticket, the one Miss Harden had given Alma, and a cloth bag with everything he had, $100, Sam's money, and his combined. I'm giving her a choice. Sam frowned. A choice? Pike thinks he owns her because he's got papers. I'm going to show her she's got options. Then I'm going to stand between her and anyone who tries to stop her from taking them. That's still suicide. Maybe, but it ain't murder, and it ain't kidnapping. Wade looked at Sam. I can't rescue her. She's been rescuing herself all along. I'm just showing up, finally. Sam studied him. You're not taking the rifle? Wade looked at it, loaded, ready. 20 years of pointing it the wrong direction. No, I take that in. Somebody dies. Maybe me, maybe Pike. But killing him don't free her, just makes her a killer's accomplice. He set it on the table. I'm done solving things with guns. Then what are you taking? Wade held up the ticket and money. Her way out. Sam was quiet a long moment. Then, you're a damn fool, Wade Garrett. Yeah, but you're a brave one. Sunday morning. Church bell rang clear and loud. Wade walked toward Pike's trading post. No gun, just the ticket in his pocket, and $100 that might as well be $1 million for all the good it would do against the law. Sam walked beside him, armed. I ain't letting you do this alone. You'll lose your store? Store ain't worth much if I can't look at myself in the mirror. And they stopped outside the trading post. Wade could see her through the window, behind the counter, back in uniform, hands moving, always moving. You ready? Sam asked. No. Good, neither am I. They went in. Alma was stirring something. Pot of beans. Saw Wade. Froze. Her eyes went wide, then angry, then scared. What are you doing here? Pike emerged from the back. Saw them. Smiled. The smile of a man who'd been expecting this. Figured you'd come? Told the sheriff to wait outside. Wade's jaw tightened. Through the window, Sheriff Morrison, 2 deputies, 3 of Pike's ranch hands, all armed. I ain't here to fight. Then why are you here? Wade walked to the counter, looked at Alma. She looked back, terrified for him, not herself. He pulled out the ticket and money, set them on the counter between them. To give you something. Pike laughed. You can't buy her. She's not for sale, she's already sold. Wade ignored him, kept his eyes on Alma. Train leaves in 2 hours, Santa Fe. From there, anywhere you want. This, he tapped his money, gets you started. New town, new name if you want, your choice. But Alma stared at the ticket like it was a snake. I can't. You can. You can walk out that door right now. I'll stand between you and anyone who tries to stop you. Pike's smile vanished. This is theft. Wade turned to him. No, this is witness. What? I'm witnessing. You can own paper, can own land. Can't own a person, so I'm witnessing her freedom. Pike's face went red. Sheriff. The door opened. Sheriff Morrison came in, hand on his gun, looked at the scene. Wade unarmed. Alma at the counter. Ticket between them. What's going on? Pike pointed at Wade. He's trying to steal my property. I'm giving a person a choice. The sheriff looked uncomfortable. Wade, she's under legal contract. Contract between her stepfather and him. She never signed nothing. 17 years old, never consented. Wade's voice was steady, calm. That ain't a contract. That's theft. Law says... Law's wrong. Wade looked at the sheriff. You know it. I know it. Whole town knows it. And he raised his voice. Everyone out there knows it. Through the window, a crowd forming. Miss Harden. Townspeople. Watching. Pike saw them. His confidence wavered. Wade turned back to Alma. Your choice. You can stay, or you can walk out that door. I'll stand witness either way. Alma's hands were shaking. She looked at the ticket, at Pike, at Wade. If I go, he'll have you arrested. Maybe. They'll hang you. Maybe that too. Then why? Because you traded your freedom for my life, and I ain't gonna waste that on being a coward. He pushed the ticket closer. This is yours. Always was. I'm just making sure you know it. Silence. The whole room holding its breath. Alma picked up the ticket. Pike moved to grab her. Wade stepped between them, unarmed but immovable. Move, old man. No. Pike pulled a pistol, pointed it at Wade's chest. Last chance. Wade didn't move, just looked at Alma. Go. She hesitated. Wade, softer. I got this. Something in his voice, something sure. Something she'd never heard before. She walked past Wade, past Pike, whose gun was still pointed at Wade. Out the door, Pike fired. The shot went wide, hit the wall. Wade was already moving, knocked Pike's arm up. Outside, Alma ran. Sheriff Morrison moved to stop her, but Miss Harden stepped in front. Then Sam. Then 3 townspeople. "Let her go," Miss Harden said. "She's property. She's a person." Sam's voice. "Let her go." The sheriff looked at the crowd, at Pike's window, at Alma running toward the train station. He lowered his hand. Alma ran. Inside, Pike and Wade on the floor, Pike's gun between them. Pike grabbed for it. Wade kicked it away. Sam entered with Wade's rifle, pointed it at Pike. "Drop it, Vernon." Pike, on his knees, breathing hard, looked at Sam, at Wade, at the crowd outside. His power was breaking. They could all feel it. "You ruined me." Wade stood, brushed himself off. "No, you did that yourself." Pike reached for the gun again. Sam cocked the rifle. "Don't." Pike stopped, collapsed, broken. Wade walked out, didn't look back. The train station. Alma stood on the platform, ticket in hand, breathing hard, free. She saw Wade emerge from the trading post, alive, bloody lip but standing. Their eyes met across the distance. She smiled, sad, true, mouthed the words from weeks ago. "We'll see." He nodded, smiled back. The train whistle blew. She hesitated. One last look, then boarded. Wade watched the train pull away, watched until it was a dot, then nothing. Sam came up beside him. "She's gone." "Yeah." "You okay?" Wade thought about it, touched his lip, split, bleeding. Ribs hurt where Pike had elbowed him. "Yeah, I think I am." The sheriff approached, looked uncomfortable. "I should arrest you." "You should." The sheriff looked at the crowd, still watching. Looked at Pike's store. Empty now, powerless. "Get out of town, both of you." "I don't want to see you for a month." Wade nodded. "Fair enough." They walked back to Sam's store. Quiet, tired. Miss Harden met them. She made it. Saw her on the train. She was smiling. Wade felt something in his chest, not happiness exactly. Something deeper, like a knot untying. "Good. You did a brave thing. I did what I should have done 20 years ago." Miss Harden touched his arm. "But you did it now. That counts." That night, Wade and Sam on the porch, whiskey, stars, silence. "You're leaving," Sam said. "Yeah. Where?" "Don't know. Somewhere I ain't run from yet." Sam nodded. "You're different." Wade thought about that. About the Chinese girl. About Alma. About 20 years of being a coward and one day of not being one. "Maybe." "Not maybe. You are." Sam poured another drink. "You finally showed up." Wade looked at his hands, still scarred, still capable of cruelty or kindness. He'd chosen kindness. Finally. "Yeah," he said. "I guess I did." The church bell rang in the distance. Wade didn't flinch, neither did Sam. They just sat, quiet. 2 men who'd done one right thing in a lifetime of wrong ones. It wasn't redemption, but it was a start. 6 months later, in a town whose name didn't matter, a waitress set down a bowl of stew in her hands. For the first time in years, were steady. Santa Fe was too close, too many questions. Alma kept moving. Ended up in a nothing town in Arizona territory. Dust and heat and people who minded their business. Got work at a diner, Ma Bailey's, serving miners and drifters and the occasional family passing through. Different now, hair shorter, practical, dress that fit, shoes that didn't hurt. She smiled at customers, small, real. Saved her tips in a coffee tin under her bed. Nobody asked where she came from. Out here, everybody was running from something. She was just running toward. Morning shift. A man ordered more coffee. She poured, hands steady, no tremor, no fear. "Thank you, miss." "You're welcome." Simple words. But they meant she existed as a person, not property. That still felt new. During her break, she sat outside on the back step. Hot sun, dry wind. Pulled something from her apron pocket, the wooden spoon. Carved bird, chipped wing, she'd kept it. Didn't know why at first. Maybe because it was the first gift anyone had given her without wanting something back. Or maybe because the broken wing felt right. True, you didn't need perfect wings to fly. Just the courage to try. She traced the bird with her thumb. Thought about Wade. Wondered if he was alive. If he'd left Redemption Flats. If he thought about her. Probably not. Men moved on. That's what they did. But sometimes, just sometimes, she let herself remember the way he'd stood between her and Pike's gun. The way he'd said, "I got this," like he meant it. He'd shown up. Finally. That was more than most people ever did. Afternoon. A family came in, father, young daughter, maybe 8 or 9. The girl was shy, hiding behind her dad's leg. Alma brought them stew, set it down gentle. The girl whispered, "Thank you, ma'am." Alma smiled. "You're welcome, sweetheart." The girl smiled back, gap-toothed, bright. Alma saw herself in that smile, before Pike, before everything. When she'd still believed the world was kind. She wanted to protect that, for this kid, for every kid. After they left, Alma stood at the counter thinking. Ma Bailey noticed. "You okay, honey?" "Yeah, just thinking." "About what?" Alma looked at the door. "About how we keep going." Ma Bailey, 60, weathered mind, nodded. "One day at a time, that's all any of us can do." "Is it enough?" "Has to be. It's all we got." Evening, shift over. Alma walked to her room, small space above the tailor shop. One window, one bed, one chair. Not much, but it was hers. She sat at the small table, pulled out paper and a pencil, started writing. "Dear Sam, I'm alive. I'm working. I'm okay. Tell Wade, if he's still around, that he was right. Sometimes mercy is just showing up." She stopped, stared at the words, almost crossed them out. Didn't. Added one more line. "Thank you. A." She folded the letter, didn't mail it, not yet, maybe not ever, but writing it meant something. Meant she was healing enough to remember, to be grateful, to forgive. She stood at the window. Church bell rang somewhere, distant, soft. She didn't flinch, just listened. Let the sound wash over her and fade. Thought about the words she'd said to Wade that first night. "I was sold here. Now, looking out at the open land, the horizon stretching forever," she whispered the rest. "I was sold there, but I ain't for sale no more." The words felt true, solid, real. She touched the wooden spoon in her pocket one last time, then set it on the windowsill, not throwing it away, not clutching it either, just letting it exist, like she existed now, free. Her hands rested on the windowsill, still, empty, not because she had nothing, because she didn't need to hold on so tight anymore. The horizon was open. She could go anywhere, be anyone. She didn't know where yet. That was okay. She had time. Redemption Flats. Same day. Wade worked Sam's store now. Sam had retired, bad hip, worse lungs. Wade ran the place, kept it clean, was fair with prices. Quiet life. Simple. Nothing special. But it was honest. A letter arrived. No return address. Just his name and Sam's store. He opened it, read once, smiled, sad, true, folded it, put it in his shirt pocket, went back to work. Church bell rang. He didn't flinch anymore either. Outside, the sunset gold and red. Another day ending. Another one coming. He'd lived through worse. He'd lived through this too.